Hi there, and thank you for joining me for today's live reading of What Eyes Can't See by Paulette Stout, and this is presented by Itsy Bitsy Book Bits. Chapter 1, Barbara. Waves lapped the hem of my nightgown, the wet sand seeping through from hours of sitting. The fabric floated in a moment of blissful weightlessness before the undertow sucked the magic away. Just like my life. It was my wedding day, only I wasn't the bride. Not anymore. Joe, my ex-groom, was off bedding someone new, no doubt the owner of the red thong. I found it moments before I saw her wearing my fiancé in the bed we'd shared for 3 years. My fairy tale world shattered by dental floss masquerading as underwear. Another wave rolled in, this one chillier. No two were alike. Some caressed like bathwater, sharing gifts from the ocean floor. Others were icy, as the dark depths reluctantly crashed to the surface, a reminder that the cold truth is always there, lurking, same as my discovery about Joe. The signs were there, despite my willful blinders, Joe's wandering eye in social situations, his whistling after evening business dinners, his lack of disappointment when I had to work late. Both our jobs were demanding. I was on track to make general counsel at my company at age 31, a huge accomplishment for anyone, let alone the only Black woman on the legal team. My mistake was thinking Joe understood and supported me. He knew the sacrifices success demanded, or so I thought. A whopping misstep in a life founded on precision. Not that I had much choice. My dad, a famed lawyer himself, expected perfection, as did the rest of our high-achieving family. Failure was unthinkable in the Washington household. It's a rare occurrence received blank stares like you were speaking a foreign language and was easily dismissed as an outlier. Our norm was excellence. Perfect grades from kindergarten through college, passing the bar exam on the first try, getting the dream job, meeting the ideal guy, a smart, accomplished, driven Black man even my dad liked. Instead of buying him off, as he'd attempted with my past boyfriends he didn't like, they became fast friends. Dad took my breakup with Joe almost harder than I had. Until now. Until today. I rubbed my arms, building up friction to warm myself. But the chill penetrated my bones so deep, I fear it'd stay forever. I inched backward, the sand sticking to my pruned fingers as the morning sun peeked over the horizon. It was a beautiful day. My wedding pictures would have been glorious. The reality hit me like a 2-ton weight. My miscalculation of scheduling a non-refundable destination wedding backfired in epic fashion. I had a ceremony with no groom, but I refused to invest any more time, equity, and love in a man unwilling to return those gifts. Our breakup was inevitable. The accelerated timeline turned into a merciful parting gift to myself. Meanwhile, giving the event reservation to my best friend Rebecca made perfect sense. It saved me from shopping for a present, not that I mind shopping as long as there's a concierge involved, but it also meant my painstaking preparations would go to someone I loved. The no-frills courthouse ceremony Rebecca had planned at Manhattan City Hall wasn't hard to top. Her finances were always tight. The plan was logical to a fault. Too bad my damaged psyche refused to play along. The idea of my breakup with Joe was so new. Until the thong, our destinies were intertwined. I moved into his brownstone on New York's Upper West Side, and we immediately became a power couple. He joined me on legal outings and golf trips. I was his +1 on client junkets to Cancun, Puerto Rico, and Aspen. Visions of our future life crystallized until it vanished behind a wall of writhing flesh I couldn't unsee. Another wave washed in, foam fizzing as the water receded. I wiggled my toes in the sand, willing myself to feel less abandoned. My mom's absence hit worst at times like these. She'd been gone nearly 14 years, yet each morning I awoke hoping her cancer had been a bad dream. Mom, I need you today. I don't know how I'll manage to be there for Rebecca. My eyelids drifted closed to listen for her. Instead, my dad's voice rang through. Suck it up. You're a Washington. Could I do it? Stand at the altar on my wedding day as maid of honor? There you are, Rebecca said, walking barefoot in the damp sand. Her long curly locks and ankle-length maxi dress blew in the salty breeze. I attempted a smile, but tears trailed down my face as they had for hours. Oh, honey. Rebecca's tender expression said it all. She sat to give me a tight arm squeeze, her warmth a surprising welcome. I knew this was a bad idea. Let's skip the ceremony. Oh no. We have all the city hall paperwork done. We can lounge in the sun and have a quiet day. My back stiffened. Forget it. Your parents are here. His parents are here, and I bought a Valentino dress straight out of Milan, and it will be worn. She eyeballed me, uncertain. You sure? Definitely, I said, almost believing it myself. I even skipped my trademark stilettos. Christian Louboutin and sand don't mix. Rebecca slapped her heart. Yet another sacrifice you've made for me. I'll add to that tally. Rebecca's expression grew serious. I can't help but feel this is my fault. I never should have introduced you to Joe, but he was so charming and confident. That he was. My chin sagged to my crossed forearms, the ocean swells mirroring my tears. I fell hard and blew by all the red lights flashing caution. A tsunami rolled in, drenching our clothes and sending us yelping away. Yet another wake-up call that my dream was over. Rebecca flicked her arms dry. You'll find someone new, and he'll be better. Look what happened to me. Ethan dumped me, and I met Kyle. The same will absolutely happen to you, probably when you least expect it. I wanted to believe my friend's earnest prediction. Promise me I'll meet a good man and everything will be okay? I promise. She pulled me close. You're strong and smart and own your future. It'll be magical. Your next Mr. Right could be anywhere, even here on this island. Our attention drifted to a dude sleeping on the lounge chair behind us, his state somewhere between drunk and dead. Our gazes met and Rebecca shrugged. Okay, maybe he's not here at this moment, but he's out there. Besides, you're an amazing woman who can define herself, with or without a man. I linked her arm. Forget my troubles. We're here to celebrate a match that worked. Yours. And thanks to me, we both smell like kelp. I'd say some bathing is in order. You sure? I was serious about postponing. I bumped her shoulder. Today is your wedding day. Let's make it amazing. I love you. You know that? Rebecca said. I do. We stumbled up the beach chatting while our wet gowns tangled between our legs, launching us into a fit of giggles. She headed back to her cabana and I struggled along in the sand toward mine. Rebecca was right. My future was bright and I was determined to begin living again. While I fought with my nightgown, a shirtless guy jogged by. With suntan skin, brown curly hair, and a sexy as hell snake tattoo circling his torso, he was a bad boy who looked deliciously good. He shot me a smile as he passed, our eyes connecting for the briefest of moments. Once lost, his absence hurt. I whipped my body around to watch his retreating form jog down the beach. My lord, is that man gorgeous? I said to no one, but he must have heard. He began jogging backwards with a wide grin. Shit. Back at you, lovely. I turned to hide my heated face, but my ankles tangled in my dress and I toppled over on the beach like a mermaid caught in a net. Oof, I grunted. My shoulder took the brunt, but I got a mouthful of sand, the ground-up shells sticking to my tongue. I spit them out, then wiggled an arm free to swipe away the rest. You okay? My Adonis yelled. Mortified was more like it. Still gathering breath and detangling from my twisted dress, I didn't answer. He drew closer, kneeling by my side where his manly scent only made matters worse. Are you hurt? He asked. Only my pride, I admitted, wiping my face clear of sand as best I could. Damn, he was even more gorgeous up close. Hazel eyes and lean, powerfully solid muscles that flexed as he squatted. Snowy skin peeked out from where his shorts slipped at his waist. Not that I was looking. Here, he extended his hand to help me, and we both rose to our feet. I'm tall at 5'10", and he was still taller. I wobbled, dizzy, but he caught me. You okay? He asked, studying me, worried. Having a man be concerned for me was a welcome change, and I was ashamed to admit how much I'd missed it. I did my best to recover, standing up tall. "You're a menace, you know," I said. His eyebrows shot up. "Me? I never touched. You can't parade around with that gorgeous body and expect women not to fall over. Christ, that tattoo alone is knee melting." I busied myself with wiping sand off my arms while he burst out into a delicious, rolling laugh. "You always this direct?" "Yes, it's one of my most redeeming qualities." He smiled at that. "What's your name?" "Barbara." "I'm Sebastian. Apologies that my unbelievable hotness was an inconvenience." "It wasn't entirely inconvenient," I whispered, hoping he didn't hear, though he probably did. Sebastian watched me with an expression I couldn't place, like he was deciding whether to be flattered, insulted, or devour me with his lusty eyes. We stood, unspeaking, probably because neither of us knew what to say or do. A gust of wind blew my long hair in my face. By the time I cleared it away, the mood had shifted. "Glad you're okay. I'll go put a shirt on. You know, to protect public safety." He hiked a thumb in the direction he was running. "You do that. Sure you don't need help to your cabana?" "Positive, but thanks anyway." I stood my ground and waited for him to leave first. He resumed his jog, turning back to smile and wave goodbye. I shooed him away with both hands and heard his delicious laugh mix with the ocean breeze as he ran into the distance. Back in the suite, I checked my phone. A few work emails. I skimmed the subject lines for anything urgent, but resisted the urge to read any fully. They were going to announce the general council decision on Monday, meaning my life was about to change. It was a promotion I deserved and had interviewed for. Any jitters I had about landing the role I'd temporarily held for 2 years evaporated after the resounding board support that flowed in following my interview. While it wasn't officially mine, I'd more than earned it. With my now ex out of the picture, I could dive into my new job with no apologies. Work distractions would normally be welcome, but not today. I need this vacation to be a vacation. I closed the app and deleted the daily "forgive me" texts from Joe. He had to be joking. Once a cheater, always a cheater. I deserved better. How many times had my mom proclaimed she'd smack my dad with a baseball bat if he ever cheated? Enough that he knew better. She said it kept him in line and that I should never accept a lesser standard of fidelity from whomever I chose to marry. Mom was looking down on me, and I needed to make her proud. Forgiveness was one thing. Stupidity was earned. While toweling off from my shower, a gentle rap sounded at the door. Leslie, the final member of our college bestie trio, stood smirking into the peephole. "You going to open up?" "I'm naked." "Nothing I haven't seen before," Leslie joked as I opened the door enough for her to squeeze in. "Where were you all night? I called and texted. I even walked around to the ocean side and saw your room was empty." It figures. An accomplished investigative reporter, Leslie's detective instincts were always on high alert. But then they had to be when you're navigating the seedy underbelly of New York City to chase stories. I was on the beach watching the waves. I kept expecting one of them to wash and lighten over me, but no dice. I padded into the bathroom, half closing the door to slip on a pink satin bathrobe. "It'll take time," Leslie called through the door. "You've come so far in the last month, absorbing it all, moving out." "Don't remind me. I never expected to be back home living with my dad. When did I become a screw-up?" I exited, headed to the mini fridge for a bottle of water. I offered one to Leslie, but she shook it off. "There are many words to describe you, but screw-up isn't one of them. You're the least screwed-up person any of us know. This is a setback for sure, but you're an amazing woman. You'll get through it." I sipped my water, then replaced the cap. "Normally I'd agree with you, but it's hard to be optimistic right now." "Don't force it. Live in the moment and feel what comes. Be pissed off. Be sad. Whatever, it's okay." Leslie had a point. My whole life was spent with my head down, barreling ahead toward the next goal. Controlling my outward emotions, I always presented a logical mind, never exposing the true toll unwavering perfection took on me. Professional hair, perfect wardrobe, taking on more assignments at work without complaint. never responding to slights or passive-aggressive insults from colleagues or bosses. I was expected to dazzle in every social situation. My parents made it crystal clear. I had to be twice as good as my white peers to get as far. Yet I didn't want to get as far. I wanted to blow them away, outpacing everyone else until they were panting heaps left in my dust. I envisioned myself scaling a summit and looking back down, laughing while my cape snapped in the breeze. Consistently striving for that high bar left no time for pity parties. I'm long overdue. But my best friend's wedding day couldn't be shittier timing. I promised to feel, but today I'll settle for faking my way through. That works, Leslie said. Hey, it won't all be misery. I hear the gal who planned this shindig spared no expense. She didn't. Thank heavens for that. We're on a gorgeous island, the sun is out, the water is a color I've only seen in commercials. And at least we don't have to wear the bubblegum pink dresses Rebecca was stuck in at Kyle's sister's wedding. You see those pictures? I shuddered. Tragic. I'll never do that to you. Leslie's pocket buzzed. Oh shit, I have to get ready. I set an alarm so I didn't lose track of time. Leslie squeezed my satiny shoulders. You can do this. You're the best friend ever gift to them this day. You're a generous, loving person. You deserve every happiness, and I'm so sorry today didn't work out as planned. I kissed her cheek. Scoot, I'll see you soon. The moment she left, I flopped on the bed. Feel what I'm feeling? Was that even allowed? If I did that, I'd be rocking in a corner, hugging my knees. There was no time for that. And I refused to look mopey in Rebecca's pictures. Like it or not, I had to put on a brave face for a few more hours. Then the weekend was mine. Maybe a dose of Rebecca and Kyle's undying love was just the balm I needed to soothe my broken heart.